Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Welcome to SoulSpace podcast number 60.
Hey,
Good number.
60. That's a good number. Good
Yeah.
round number.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about life coaching and, well, whatever you call it,
Yeah.
coaching.
We're going to talk about, pieces of it, pieces that are important. Why you may want a life coach.
Right.
There's a lot of reasons that people get a coach.
Yeah.
And I'm under the belief that everyone could use a coach.
Yeah.
Because they really help you to get where you're going faster.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they kind of lose motivation. There's different things going on, and they just never seem to move forward in the amount of time that they want to. So a lot of people give up.
Yeah.
And so a coach is someone who can really help in a lot of the different areas. And I know today we're going to focus on a couple of areas, or one area even, and clarity.
Yeah.
Clarity is a huge one. Huge. And we're going to talk about that, about why is clarity so huge, and what does that mean in regards to coaching.
Yeah, and clarity has a lot to do with setting your intention for what you want to do in the moment or in the next 6 months or whatever timeline you're looking at. Like, for a business, you set your intention for the next year, or the next quarter, whatever. But to have the clarity in that, it's huge. So you're not just fluttering around and not even knowing where you're going, not knowing what you want your end result to be.
Exactly. And I think, one of the pieces of clarity that a lot of people miss is just that step one.
Yeah.
What is it that I want this to feel like?
Yeah.
That's the number one thing that we find, I would say, close to number one, if not number one, that people completely miss.
Yeah.
And that's the beginning of your intention. Yeah. How do I want this one thing that I want to feel?
Right.
How do I want it to feel when I get it? How do I want it to feel on the way there?
Yeah.
How do I want to feel tomorrow? They forget that piece. And that piece is so important, because if you get clarity on that one piece, of how do I want to feel, that starts to really pull together the other pieces for you.
It sure does. Yeah. Yeah, it's huge. It gets you moving forward when you have that clarity on what you want and how you want to feel.
Right.
If you don't know that, you don't go anywhere. Right,
you're just turning your wheels.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons for that definitely is energetically.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about this, like law of attraction and things like that. But one of the big pieces of this is that if you don't have clarity about where you want to go, if you're not saying, this is what I want, this is what I want vibration, this is what I want to feel, this is what I want to see, this is my vision for my life.
Yeah.
The universe doesn't know what to bring you, because your vibration is wishy-washy. You're thinking about this, you're thinking about that, you're thinking about this, you're thinking about that, you're going here, you're going that. You haven't really decided and created that energy of, this is what I want. This is what I want. And so they're just kind of like, give you some of this, they're giving you some of that, they're giving you some of this, you're getting some of that, you're getting some of this. You're getting wishy-washy results because you don't have the clarity. You haven't made the decision. You haven't created that vision for what you want.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have to be a big vision. It could just be like, how do I want to feel day to day?
Right.
That could be the beginning point. You don't have to have everything figured out. That's another piece that people always get hung up on. Like, I have to figure out this huge vision for my life.
Yeah.
No,
that's not true.
Start somewhere.
Yeah.
Because that's the piece. If you don't have clarity on at least one thing, you're not getting anywhere. You're spinning wheels.
Right. Yeah. And that's one thing. I'm glad you said that. That's one thing that I've focused a lot of in my coaching business, is helping people find more happiness and joy in their life.
Oh, yeah.
So it doesn't have to be a huge thing. That's just something that if you have that, your whole life goes better, and some people, it's somebody wants to meet a financial goal, or somebody wants to meet a weight loss goal, or, you know, for me, when I was starting to like go through coaching and learning coaching, I wanted to get rid of my anxiety and be more outgoing, not be so shy or whatever. That was my focus. And so you can have so many different things to be coached on, but you have to have that clarity on the one thing you're working on.
Right.
at the time,
What's
right?
step one? What's
Right,
the
right.
first thing, if you had it,
Yeah.
would completely change your life,
Mm-hmm.
right? It would start that process.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and a lot of people don't want to start at square one. They want to start at square 259.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is, if
Yeah.
you have a vision for number 259, awesome.
Yeah.
But where are we starting?
Yeah.
What's that first piece
Yeah.
that you see as step one to getting there? What is it that you want
Yeah.
that you currently don't have, or you don't have enough of?
Right.
When, you know, when you talk about joy, a lot of times it's the enjoying the life now. That's a big
Yeah.
thing that holds people back, but they don't know that because it's like, what's the root? That's
Yeah.
a big piece that coaching helps you with. Get to the root of
Mhm.
what is it that you actually want. Get to the root of what the problems might be. Get to the root of what's this one piece and how do I start moving toward it?
Yeah, what are the solutions to get there?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what's the root thing that I want? Because
Yeah.
you say, I want this thing, I want that thing, I want this thing, I want that thing. Great.
Mhm.
You should, and you have the complete right to want all the things that you want.
Yeah.
And it's good, and you should
Yeah.
feel good about that. And you can have those things, but here's the thing. What is that root
Yeah.
that those things have in common that you want?
Mhm.
And let's start there.
Yeah, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so important, and there are a lot of coaches that are kind of wishy-washy in that and don't, and they've been trained different ways, you know,
Right.
so they don't know to have that initial step to go, where to go first, so,
Right.
you know, and what are some of the things that you use to help people get clarity on where to focus?
Mm.
Do you have some?
I
Favorites?
really like to, my first thing that I always do, I always like to start with a conversation.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because in a conversation, people are going to start to tell you things just automatically,
Yeah.
right? And so you pick out the pieces
Yeah.
of gold in that conversation. Say, this is what I hear you saying. These are
Mhm.
the things that I'm getting from you. Okay. And that helps us, that first conversation. It could be 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be a long conversation.
Right.
But you can start to really get to the pieces of, okay, tell me about yourself. Tell me why you're here. Tell me a little bit
Mhm.
about that, because you'll notice when people start to tell you things that they really start to actually dig down once they
Yeah.
feel comfortable of like, these are the things that I want. Then you can go, okay, so this is what I hear. All right, these are the things that you're telling me that you want.
Mhm.
Let's get to the root of what's at the base
Yeah.
of that stuff.
Yeah.
And let's start there. Let's get you more of that one thing, that one feeling, that one, whatever that step one is, based on what they're saying that they're interested or they're wanting, or they're wanting to get out of coaching. And let's start there. Because when we start there and we get that process going, because we have a lot of different tools in our toolbox
Right.
to help people begin to really get those things that they're wanting, right? So if we start at step one can happen super fast.
Yeah.
And then once we get that momentum rolling with that step one, leads to the next, leads to the next, leads to the next.
Yeah.
And so for me, that conversation piece is that first piece that really helps me to know, okay, this is what we're looking at. And as you go with coaching, the beauty of that is that as we go forward, what they want evolves.
Yeah.
Each of us,
Yeah.
as we go
It
forward,
sure does. Yeah.
like, yeah, you might start here and then realize, well, I want more of that, or I want more of this, or you know what, I've really loved this and I really want to go here now, and I have these, and your vision gets bigger
Bigger and bigger.
and
Yeah.
bigger, and you get more clear on it, right? So
Yeah.
that's one piece that I like to start with, is that conversation is the first step
Yeah.
to getting clarity on what we want so that we can start moving forward.
Yeah.
That's my favorite tool in my toolbox, is that active listening and hearing what it is that a person wants.
Yeah.
You know, and it's interesting because they'll say things that they didn't even expect to say in a first
Right.
conversation, which is perfect, because it's like, all right, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, they'll start to get clarity just by talking about it.
Uh-huh.
That's the thing, is a lot of people don't talk about what is it that I want. They don't
Yeah.
think that way. We don't
Yeah.
really think of what do I really want.
Mm-hmm.
People are afraid to think about what they want. And that's another
Right.
piece, is a lot of people talk about being selfish. Well, what does being selfish mean? At the base of it, it really means taking care of the self.
Yeah.
So we need to do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're never going to get anywhere if you're not
Mhm.
clear on what it is that you want for yourself. Because you can want things for yourself that lift you up and that also lift up the people around you.
Exactly.
And that's the
Yeah.
thing. As you are lifted up and you feel better and
Yeah.
you feel good, everyone around you is lifted up with you.
Right.
And that's another piece that it's really important for people to remember. There's no shame in taking care of yourself. You
No.
should take care of yourself. They always say, fill your cup first, and people will hear that, yeah. But it's true.
Yeah.
If your cup isn't filled up, you're not happy. The people around you are going to see that, and they're going to be like,
Yeah.
not feeling great either, because they see you not being happy, and it's like
Yeah.
this cycle. But if they see you happy, I'm so glad.
Uh-huh.
I've seen Tracy so happy, and that makes me feel really good.
Mhm.
And that almost gives them permission to be happier
Yeah.
and feel good
Yeah,
and feel good with you.
It really does. And to, shine your light. Don't be scared to do that, because when more people see more happy people, the happier they are, and they're not afraid to hold that in.
Right.
And for some weird reason, some people don't think they deserve to be happy, or they don't, they're not worthy of that. And that's a huge thing that coaching can help you get over.
That's a
And
big piece for a lot of people, is
Yeah.
that worthiness factor.
Yeah, it
Even
really
if they're
is.
not 100% aware of it.
Yeah.
Once you dig down, it really gets to that. That's one piece that's really big
Mhm.
for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Is, am
Yeah.
I worthy of having what I want?
Right.
And you are.
Yeah, you are.
You are. And if you feel any twinges
Yeah.
when we say that, like, I'm worthy, if you think that to yourself, I am worthy of having everything that I want. If you have any like twinges or angst about that,
Mhm.
that means that you just have some programming inside of you
Yeah.
that you just need to let go of, because you are worthy of it.
Mhm.
So if you don't feel that, if you feel twinges when you think that, that's good, because that's telling you that
It's
you
very
have a
good.
block that you can release.
Yeah.
So you're getting somewhere with that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I can let go of that because I can be worthy. I
Yeah.
am worthy, and I can feel that and feel good about it.
Yeah.
So that's step one. If you felt any twinges when I said that to you,
Mhm. I'm sure there's a video that we've done, freedom release method, that talks about.
What?
Yeah, talks about worthiness. So
yeah, we've
Yeah.
done freedom release on that. So
yeah,
go check out some of our freedom release method ones and do those releases. It's
Right.
going to help you a lot.
yeah. And freedom release is one of the tools that we use a lot in
Mhm.
coaching to help you get through those blocks, or that resistance to feeling good, or to wanting to do what you want,
Yeah. What it really helps you with is that vibrational alignment with
Yeah.
what you want.
Yep.
And that's the biggest piece, is, are you vibrationally aligned with the things that you say
Right.
that you want?
Yeah.
Are you in that receiving mode to
Mhm.
receive those things?
Yeah.
And that's one thing that freedom release really helps with a lot, is getting into that point where
Yeah.
you can feel good. And when you feel good, when you think about those things that you want,
Mhm.
that means you're in vibrational alignment with
Alignment
those.
with
You are
it.
not, you're in that allowing space rather than that resistant space.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's so cool when you notice that shift in yourself after you've had some coaching, or had
Yeah.
done freedom release, or anything that will shift that energy.
Mhm.
It's just amazing how it feels, and start to notice that. That's another thing that people don't notice, those feelings vibrationally, but we all have that ability to know that within ourselves.
Mhm.
So if you just start paying attention to how your body feels in your daily life, and when you're doing different things, like, when I was talking about finding happiness and joy, is one of my joys to help people
Yeah.
in coaching, and I get goosebumps
You're
every
so
time
good
I
at
say
it.
it. Yeah. And it's like knowing your body is telling you, okay, you're on the right track, you know? So pay attention to your body and see what it's trying to tell you, because it will guide you if you'll allow that to be.
Right.
And it's really fun when you can shift that in yourself.
And that's
So.
another piece that we help with, and clarity wise,
Mhm, yeah,
is how to find clarity in your own internal guidance.
right, yeah.
To know what is your guidance and what that feels like. And so
Mhm.
to help you to get that tool in your toolbox so that you can bring that with you every single day.
Yeah.
And that's another really big piece on it. People are always like, but I'm not clear. Well, guess
Mhm.
what? A coach like us can help you figure that
That's
out.
where, yeah, that's where we come in.
That's where we
You know,
come in.
help you get that clarity
Yeah.
to where you want to go, what you want to do, or what you want to focus on right now in your life. You know, we have different, there's like a focus wheel that you can do, an exercise that'll help you know where you should be focusing right now. And it might not always be a financial goal. A lot of times, if you focus on one of the emotional things or one of the blocks, you know, emotionally, or what's the word I'm looking for? Energetically, that just doing that one goal in that area of your life will help everything around it. You know,
Yep.
it'll help you in every other area of your life when you focus on that.
Yep.
And that's one thing that we maybe do a little different than some coaches. Some coaches focus on the lack or the problems that you're having, where we're more solution oriented and focused, and we focus on the things that feel good to you. Like, instead of working on what,
It's hard to even think of problems.
yeah, yeah, it's, you know, instead of focusing on something that doesn't feel good to you, like, oh, I hate to have to write an email every day in my business, or send emails out. Well, then focus on something else and you can delegate that, or focus on something else, and then that makes the email writing fun again.
Right.
You know, when you work on the things that feel good to you and get some results going, then go back and backtrack into that, and it turns around into making some of the things that you maybe didn't like at first, makes them a lot more fun, because you've gotten rid of a lot of blocks
Right. And
along the road.
you know, I can relate to this. So I'm in the midst of finishing the last pieces of writing, like my 6 module class
Yeah.
that I'm going to be teaching here pretty soon. And you know, there are some days where it's like, I don't feel like writing right now.
Yeah.
So I don't.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. If I go and I try to force myself and push through,
Right.
I'm not gonna get anything done. And then
Yeah.
I just be frustrated. And I just wasted a bunch of time that I could have been doing something else.
Yeah.
So what I do is, you know, I'll focus on something else that I need to get done or would like to do, even if it's for the class or not for the class, if it's for my house or whatever, and I get that done. And then if I have time and I feel good, then I'll go do the thing for the class. If not,
Yeah.
then I'll do it the next day.
Yeah.
You know, because some deadlines are hard and fast and some are not. But the thing is, if you try to force yourself to do something when it doesn't feel good to you,
Yeah.
you're not going to get anywhere.
No.
And that's that resistance piece.
Yeah.
But if, like you said, if you do something else and you feel better and you get more vibrationally aligned and stuff, and you come back to that thing, you're like, oh, that actually doesn't feel so bad now. I could
Right.
probably knock that out real fast.
Yeah.
Or like you said, even becomes fun. Like, oh, I just had a really good idea for that email. I'm gonna just write that up real fast, and it goes out and you feel so much better about it.
Yeah.
And you have it done.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so cool when you get that clarity in your life, or where you want to go, where you want to bring your business, or where you want to bring your life to. It just, everything falls more into place a lot easier, and it doesn't have to be such a struggle all the time, you know? We're not here to struggle daily.
No.
No.
And if we are, it's like, well, okay.
Then what?
Do I want to continue that?
Right.
Does that sound fun?
Yeah.
No.
No. No, that's when you need to pivot.
That's a pivot moment. Absolutely. I agree 100%. I had a
Yeah.
pivot moment yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very interesting day yesterday. I had a struggle moment yesterday that I haven't had in such a long time. I literally wanted to crawl under my desk and cry.
Yeah,
I mean, that doesn't happen to me very often,
right.
right? I
Yeah.
just got to that point. And so, I kind of stopped what I was doing. I took a break, I did something else.
Mhm.
I, was finally got the help that I needed to move forward from where I was at. Like, because I was having like a tech problem, which I don't have a lot of tech problems because I can usually figure them out.
Yeah,
But I
it's
just
Mercury retrograde.
Oh, great. That explains a lot. So I just couldn't, right? So then a friend of ours actually works in the tech department that I work at my
Mhm.
work. And so he was able to finally come down because he had been working on other things too. And so he was able to finally come down. And I just kind of sat there. He fixed it for me. I
Nice.
said, "Thank you so much." And I said, "Can I give you a hug?" And he said, "Yep." And I had a hug and I felt so much better.
Hugs always
Yeah,
work.
so that's the thing is like I needed a pivot, and so
Right.
to have a friend there that was working things out for me and I was
Yeah.
allowing that to happen and to be like, being willing to ask for a hug at work was like, I just need a hug.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay. And like I could tell you need a hug. And I said I do. And I had a hug and I was able to move on. So like, sometimes it's just those little things that help to pull you out, because I knew I was where I didn't want to be and I was in a
Right.
frustration zone.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to stay there? No.
No.
So, I did something else and I started to feel a little bit better.
Mhm.
And then, I asked for the help that I needed again. And he's like, yeah, I'll come down in a few minutes. Came down and helped me. And then I felt a little bit better.
Mhm.
And then, I worked on something else while he was doing that. And I felt a little bit better.
Mhm.
And then I had a hug and then I felt way better.
Yeah. And
So it
thank
can
God
be
you
like that.
have those skills to be able to work yourself out of that,
Right.
because of all the work you've done and, coaching, being coached and coaching.
Right.
So you know how to get yourself out of those emotional situations.
Exactly. Because if it was somebody else that didn't have those skills, they probably would have walked out.
Right.
Or they would have literally crawled under their desk and cried.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
their coworkers would be like, oh my God, what's wrong with this person? But I didn't do any of that. And
Yeah.
I didn't take it on anybody. I was calm. I
Yeah.
was just like, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I knew I could recognize in myself when I'm getting there. It happened real fast. But I was able to do that and it didn't take a lot of time.
Yeah.
This was probably maybe like a 20-minute period or something.
Right.
And I was able to pull myself out and feel well enough and not walk out of work
Uh,
because I love my job.
Right.
I love my job. This time of year is just super hard.
Yeah.
So I'm like, obviously that's not what I want to do. I could go take a walk though. I could have done that, right? Like
Yeah.
there was a lot of things that I could do, but I had all those ideas. I had all those
Yeah.
skills. I had all those things going for me, but I was
Mhm.
able to continue. I was able to continue work. I was able to finish
Right.
the day. It was fine. I went back today, hunky dory,
Yeah.
but if you don't have those skills,
Mhm.
those tools in your toolbox
Yeah.
that, a coach can help you to figure out, then it's not as easy. Right?
Right.
That 20 minutes might be a full day.
Yeah.
Or even a whole week
Yeah.
before you feel better. And that's not okay. Nobody wants to feel miserable like
Right.
that for weeks on
Yeah.
end or months on end or years on end even.
Exactly.
And so
Mhm.
that's another piece that we kind of bring to the table is how to get through those things faster.
Mhm.
How to move through that faster, how to move up the emotional scale.
Yeah. And they really are skills that you can
Mhm.
learn easily and keep those and use them throughout your whole life. They really should teach that in school. A lot of the things that a coach helps you with, they should be taught when you're young, because
Right.
it would make life so much easier.
Yeah, one thing I like in the schools is they're starting to bring some of those like social
Yeah.
emotional skills in, which is great.
Right.
There's a lot of pieces that they don't
Yeah.
that would be really useful, but
Yeah.
I'm seeing that more and more, which I appreciate as a
Right.
trained counselor.
Yeah.
To see that, like, children building those skills is so
Mhm.
important. And there's so many adults that just haven't. They
Yeah.
didn't have that opportunity. When we were
No.
growing up, we didn't have that kind of
No,
stuff in
we
school.
didn't talk about mental wellness or,
Even emotions.
it was like, shake it off and get outside.
Yeah.
know?
Oh, you scraped your knee, you're bleeding everywhere.
Yeah,
That's too
let
bad.
me kiss
Suck
it,
it
you're
up.
fine. Yeah. Yeah. it's kind of the Gen X and boomer thing, it's, if you watch TikTok at all. There's a lot going on there about that, but yeah, it's it's really a lot better now that, people are talking about those things, and like a coach, a coach can do some of the things that a counselor or more of a medical person or trained medically can do, but not, but in a different way, an easier way to get there.
Yeah.
Like using energy modalities and energy work, and it's I feel like a more gentle way to get results, but you get profound results with it, even though it doesn't feel like it's so hard, and we don't have to drudge everything up and heal it. We can figure out a way to move forward and let it go, and it's, I got goosebumps again. That's just, it doesn't have to be hard all the time.
It doesn't have to be hard. It shouldn't be hard all the time.
No,
And if it is hard all the time, that just means
you're not doing it.
you're not in alignment yet.
Yeah,
And there's ways to get there.
yeah,
And there's ways to get there that can be fun, that can be
Right.
easy, that can be easier than what you've been doing, because obviously what you're doing, you get mixed results, right?
yeah,
But you
yeah.
want more good results.
Yeah.
That's kind of thing. People want more positive results. And that's the thing, is like, part of getting results faster is healing.
Mhm.
And having that healing work piece of it
Yeah.
really helps a lot, because once you have clarity, you can begin to heal the things that are in the way of you really moving forward, propelling
Right.
yourself in that direction of what you want.
Yeah,
Because a lot of the things, like fear, is something that holds a lot of people back.
Yeah.
Fear of success is one of the
It's
biggest
huge.
things that holds people back.
Yeah.
And why would you be afraid of that?
Right.
But we have that.
Yeah,
But why?
and we carry that through
Yeah.
generations,
We
and
do.
it's just something that we don't even know we have until we know we have it.
Exactly.
And that was one of my huge things, was fear of success, and I really had to do a lot of theta work on that, theta healing work on that to heal that.
I'm still working on that for
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
Because, and I've gotten through a lot of that, especially recently. I've just really realized, oh, I'm afraid of succeeding. But why?
Yeah.
There's no reason. I was like, okay. So like, one of the things here that came up for me is like, overwhelm of having too many clients. But then, I worked on this healing process with it. And then afterwards I was like, okay, well, I don't feel any angst about that anymore. Great.
Yeah.
But I went to overwhelm of having too many clients to, oh, well, then just have a waiting list.
Yeah.
I've had a waiting list before,
Right. Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Or I can start more groups.
Yeah.
So that I can reach more people at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, there's a solution there.
Yeah.
But I was so stuck in the problem of worrying about being overwhelmed that I didn't even realize I had.
Yeah.
That when I realized I had it and I let it go, I was like, oh, well, that's okay then.
Yeah.
It really isn't a big deal to have
No.
that, because it's like, how much time and energy? Well, if I have more of that, that's okay.
Yeah.
Because then I just have to plan a little bit more.
Right.
Big deal. No,
Yeah.
it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
I had a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah.
And so many of us have
And
those things.
yeah, yeah. What is that quote? Something like 99% of the things that you mull over in your head don't happen anyway.
Right,
and
never-
would never
never
happen.
happen.
So why do we worry about that?
Yeah.
But we do, and people do all the time. So yeah. And that's a lot of coaching too, helping you work through that stuff and not let that monkey mind get a hold of you so much, let go of that grip of all those thoughts that are telling you you can't, or what if this happens, or what if that, what if,
Right, and that's another piece of clarity, is that clarity
Yeah.
on what's going on in my
Right.
mind that's holding me
Yeah.
back consciously, subconsciously. What are the,
Yeah.
what's the root of those things? Oh, well, one of those things was overwhelm.
Yeah.
I can let go of that.
Right.
And I did.
Yeah.
And I mean, this was a week ago
Yeah.
that I did that. And I'm
That's
like, wow,
awesome.
that feels great.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that I had that.
Right.
But once I got clarity on that, I was like, well, I got tools to let that go.
Yeah.
I can let that, and I did, and I feel
Yeah.
great about it.
That's awesome. Yeah. And it's like, if it's not helping you to feel good, then why are you hanging on to it? Is that thought or feeling getting to where you want to be? Is it helping you get there? No. Okay, we know how to work that out. We can do things to help you release that.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't need to stay in that pattern.
No.
That pattern can go bye-bye.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not one that you want because it's holding back from things that you do
Right.
want.
Yeah.
So, bye.
Yeah. See you later.
See you never, is
Yeah.
right.
I like that better. Yeah.
Bye, see you never.
Yeah. See you never.
Yeah.
I like that.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, is there anything else that we want to talk about this time? Oh, another thing, accountability.
Mm.
That's one thing that a coach can help you with too. If you never follow through with anything, that might be when you need a coach the most, because they'll help you to be accountable to yourself. And you're not only accountable to the coach, but you really are being accountable to yourself, and your coach is there not to do things for you, and not to say, hey, okay, we're gonna forget that, because they're not there to be your best friend. They're there to get you through those things that you might not see are blocking you or holding you back. So a coach is gonna be an accountability partner with you, but they're not doing the work for you.
Right, but what they can do is help you gain clarity on where you're kind of stuck at,
Right.
so that you can continue to move forward through those challenges. Because
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that people kind of struggle with, is a big challenge comes up, they're not sure how to get through it, they kind of fumble, and then they give up.
Yeah.
And that's where a coach really comes in handy. So
Mhm.
if you have a tendency to, like, you're doing well for a while, then you hit a block and you're not sure how to get through it, things kind of go haywire, and then you just give up. You're like, well, fine, it's never going to happen for me.
Yeah.
That's where a coach can help you with that challenge. That challenge came up. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Let's move on from there, right?
Yeah.
Let's find that solution through it. Is there a
Right.
block there? Is there something else going on?
Mhm.
What's going on here? How do we get to the other side of it?
Yeah.
Because there is another side. If you want something, you can have it.
Yes.
You can.
Yeah.
And so it's about, how do you get through those challenges when they come
Mhm.
up? And that's where accountability is so important, and
Yeah.
that gaining clarity on what's really going on and how do we get to that other side, so that you can continue to move forward from that challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's when you go to a coach, know that there are some things that you have to do. If you go to a coach thinking they're the ones that are gonna do it for you. Mm-mm.
They will help you
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
move through it. They will help you
And-
to figure out what you're doing,
Right.
but you're gonna do the thing.
Yeah. And they're gonna help you make it more easy to do the things. A coach is there to help you so you don't struggle so much.
Yeah.
With everything. We're there to guide you, really, just a guidance.
And the thing is, who doesn't appreciate a guide sometimes?
Right. Yeah.
You and I have been
Yeah.
coaches for a long time, been coached. And
Yes.
for me, it's been an unbelievably life-changing experience over
Yeah.
the years that we've been coaching, been coached. I mean, it's made a huge difference in my life.
Right.
And so to be able to share that with other people that,
Mhm.
need it. And it's
Yeah.
my belief that everyone can benefit from a coach,
Exactly.
it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be so hard.
I know. Yeah.
And you can have a partner to get you
Right.
through those things that
Yeah.
feel hard.
Yeah, and once you learn the skills, you can help within your family. You can help coach within there, or friends. You can, like we do, coach each other
Yeah.
a lot and work through things together. So there's a lot of skills that a coach can teach you that you can use for a lifetime,
Yeah.
whether you're still working with the same coach or not. And different coaches do different things, so
Right.
it's important to know that you can feel good about who your coach is and what they are coaching about, and ask them, I have this thing that I want to work on. Can you help me with it? And they should be honest enough to be able to say, that's out of my realm of places where I like to coach, but I can recommend someone else.
Right.
And, or, yeah, I can absolutely help you with that. So, ask the questions if you're going to a coach to see if that's something, some people aren't business coaches, some people are more lifestyle coaches or emotional coach or spiritual coach or whatever. Some
Right.
people do quite a few things in their coaching, but
Some people have real big specialities and some people are
Right.
more generalists. It just
Yeah.
depends.
Yeah, so there's some little bit, we wanted to talk about, kind of what a coach is and what we do and what would I go to a coach for, what is that, Some people think, oh yeah, life coach, that's just airy, fairy, fluffy stuff. They don't really do anything, but
Not true.
they're not. You can get through a lot of BS in your life.
Oh, yeah.
With having a coach. right?
100%,
Yeah.
and we just touched on a few pieces here
Yeah.
that we wanted to kind of bring forward. It kind of goes along the lines with some of the things that we've been talking about lately,
Yeah.
with that gaining clarity and finding your voice and
Mhm.
making sure that
Yep.
you are being authentically you in the world. And that's a big piece that a coach can help you with is
Yeah.
finding that authentic voice that you bring to the world. And that's another piece too. And I kind of look forward to digging more into that as we're going
Yeah.
forward.
Yep. Yeah, there's so many different topics within that we can talk about, so.
Right. And yeah,
Do
this is one of our favorite topics. It's
Yeah.
something we love to do.
Yeah.
It's something we get excited about sharing with you guys. And so, if you have questions, we want to hear those questions.
Yeah.
If you are like, could you help me with this? Or what kind of things do this? Or you want to know more about what we're talking about, tell us.
Yeah.
Or if there's things you're like,
Mhm.
I don't really know anything about this one thing. Do you guys know about that? Of
Right.
course. We want to talk about those things. We want to know what you're interested in.
Yeah.
So make sure that you guys are giving us some comments, maybe sending us some messages so we can keep giving you guys the things that you're interested in. But coaching is one of our favorite topics. So of course we're going to talk about it again, whether you want to hear about it or
Yeah.
just saying.
Yeah. And if you don't, you won't be here, so it doesn't matter.
You're right,
No.
but if you like what we have to say,
Yeah.
subscribe to our channel to hear more about the stuff that we're talking about,
Right.
because we do give you a lot of really great content and we're
Mhm.
really focused on, we're doing this to help you. We haven't, we're not here for like, well, let's make $1 million on our podcast.
Right.
No, I mean, great, sure. Who doesn't love money? But the thing is,
Yeah.
we are here for you guys. We want to hear what you have to say. We want to do things that are going to help you in your everyday life, give you
Mhm.
tools for your toolkits.
Yeah.
And so if you're interested in finding out more about working with one of us, please let us know.
Yeah.
We'll tell you where to find us here in a minute, but we also want to hear what you want to know about.
Right.
We'd love to share more knowledge with you, and we want to hear the topics that you're interested in.
Yeah.
So make sure that you give us a comment. Subscribe if you like the stuff. If you don't like it, well, just go watch somebody else. We love you.
Yeah.
And then the Tracy.
Share with people that you think might have an interest in it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's somebody that could benefit from a coach or from any of the things that we offer. Go ahead and share.
Right, I do that with you all the time. I'm
Mhm.
like, Tracy, check this out.
Yeah,
Or this class
Sure,
coming up.
yeah.
Make sure that you go
Yeah.
check it out, you know, and so
Yeah.
we've done that a lot.
yeah.
So
It's
do that
good.
for your friends too.
Yep. And a good coach will do that for you. They will say, I know this person that's teaching this class, go take it, or do this. So that's also what a coach does is they're a connector,
Yeah.
they'll help you connect with things that they know can help you. It's really an awesome thing to do.
It
Is
so
get in
is.
touch with the coach. So, okay, Carissa, me.
Tracy, if people wanted to learn more about the stuff that you're doing,
Yeah.
where could they find you on the interwebs?
You can find me on inspiredsignals.com and Facebook and Instagram, same. All right, my links are all on my website, so you can easy peasy find me there.
True. You also have recently discovered TikTok, haven't you?
I have. But I haven't been very consistent on there yet. No, but I'm getting there. Yeah.
So you can also find her on TikTok.
Yeah, a little bit on TikTok, a little bit. Also YouTube a little bit. Yeah.
Well, and we're currently
have
doing this on
SoulSpace too.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
SoulSpace podcast on YouTube, which is what you're listening to right now, no matter
Right.
where you're at.
yeah, yeah. How about you, Carissa? Where can we find you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook at Light of Hope Healing. You can find us collectively on Facebook at Our Soul Space. And then you can also find me on my Square site, which is light-of-hope-healing.square.site. Light of Hope Healing with a bunch of dash in between .square.site. I know. I need to work on that.
We need to just do that.
Yeah.
Pick a day.
Hashtag get Carissa website, right? But anyway, so that's where you can find me. Yeah, so check us out, if you like to. If you don't, that's cool too. But we do want to hear from you. So let us know what you want to learn about.
Yeah.
We look forward to hearing from you. And we're going to be back next week with more cool stuff to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. We love you guys.
We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye. Have a great rest of your week.